right, welcome to CHEEMA Connect. As always, I'm your host, Jamie Phillip, and I'm joined by one of our regular guests, President and CEO of CHEEMA Freight Lines, Harmon CHEEMA. Harmon, how are you doing today?
I am doing great.
Where are we?
We are in trailer H54020.
That's a high cube. That's a 14-foot high cube trailer. We're inside an empty trailer on location today here in Sumner, Washington, bringing the show. So that's a lot of fun. I've got some announcements for the team.
But if anybody needs an empty after we're done,
yeah,
we'll have it ready.
There'll be an arm wrestling match for it. A couple of coming announcements I wanted to tell the team about. Summer BBQ, a week, actually Friday, July 1st, the Friday before the 4th of July, we're going to have a barbecue to celebrate summer at all of our terminal locations. Now, Lathrop, California, Albany, Oregon, and Sumner, Washington will be grilling, burgers, hot dogs, all the fixins, maybe some potato salad, who knows, chips, you bet. We're going to feed the masses, so come on out, spend some time with the team, spend some time with your colleagues, and enjoy some food on us. We want to celebrate you and celebrate summer. It'll be a lot of fun. So that's Friday at all of our terminal locations.
Now that we finally have some decent weather, right?
Yeah, it's beautiful outside today. Also, we want to let you guys know that there are a lot of exciting terminal updates. I'm going to start by telling you a little bit about Albany, Oregon. So as some of you may know, we have had an ongoing renovation taking place in Albany, and our driver's lounge is nearing completion. We're very excited that it should be about another 3 to 4 weeks before that's done, but once it is quite a large facility. It boasts, I think, of not one, but 2 showers.
Yeah, so Jeff and I were actually just there last week on Wednesday or Tuesday, so about a week ago. Yeah, exactly. We were there last week, visited with John and Carolyn and Quincy and the new crew down there, and got to see some drivers and got to check out the progress in our driver's lounge. And it looks like it's getting close to being complete. Hopefully, 30 to 60 days, and we should have it open. But it's going to have 2 showers, brand new showers, and another bathroom. So 3 bathrooms and a nice, cool driver's lounge, some TVs and couches, and we'll get that stuff going. But we're very excited. It's been a long time coming. Yeah. Everything and labor shortages, supply shortages didn't help the cause, but I think we're near the finish line, so we're excited for that.
It could be a great place for drivers to hang out, congregate while the truck's getting serviced, while they're waiting for a 30-minute break, 10-hour break, reset, what have you.
That's a busy yard, Jamie. I noticed, we get a lot of truck traffic coming through there. It's in Albany, Oregon, so it's a great spot for
centrally located.
Our I-5 fleets, our drivers that just run between the Albany area into the Lathrop, Stockton, Northern California area. The drivers coming out of California that just, kind of pass through there. It's a great spot for them. It's kind of the home of our Northwest Regional fleet. Our drivers that just run Washington and Oregon, they do a lot of in and out of that yard as well. And then, of course, we've got some locals down there.
Yep.
Great locals that have been there for a while now, and they've seen the yard progress from just a drop yard with a lot of water and whatnot. So we're excited. We're excited to keep progressing, and hopefully we can get some paving and whatnot sometime next year in there.
Yeah, those Albany locals are something else. They have been through what was a temporary drop yard situation to now a
Lake
terminal
Albany,
location.
Right?
Yeah, exactly. And now they're going to have probably what's going to be the coolest driver's lounge in the network. So hats off to them. They've been with us through thick and thin, and we really appreciate all the longevity and the service they provide over the years. So thanks to our team out in Albany.
Thank you.
Big time. On that note, once a completion of the driver's lounge is done, we will have kind of a ribbon cutting, like a grand opening ceremony for the Albany terminal. So watch for an announcement on that once that is complete. Continuing the conversation of terminal updates, we have an exciting announcement about our location in Sumner, Washington. Harmon, do you want to tell us about that?
Yeah, so end of August, beginning of September, we're going to be moving out of our current terminal in Sumner to a newer terminal just down the street, closer to the freeway by 167.
Sweet. Over
by Freightliner. More details to come, but it's going to have about 95 spots for trailers and about 35 bobtail spots. It's going to have a shop, and it's going to have all the things we have here, more office space. It'll have room to continue to grow. Right now, I don't know if drivers have been in and out of the office much, but we really don't have any desks open. We're full. So we're excited for that. It'll have more space there for us. But the most exciting part for me is it's going to have a upgraded driver's lounge with a shower as well. So looking forward to that. It'll be consisting of 2 buildings, We'll have safety and Jamie's team driver services in the building that's basically with the driver's lounge. So that'll be awesome, and you'll get to see Jamie's face a lot more.
For better or for worse.
But most importantly, it's right next to the freeway, so better access. Yeah. We won't get snowed in the winter. And so, yeah, we're very, very excited for that. So kind of, just growing through all of it. So
now, the location we're currently at in Sumner, Washington has been a great place
awesome
to call home. But we've only been here. Has it been like 3 or 4 years?
It's been here about 4 years. So
gosh, and we've already outgrown it. We're already at capacity.
Yep.
And it's been wonderful. In fact, the tree line right across the street that we're looking at is glorious. Sun coming down the tops of those trees. So we'll definitely miss this location, but it'll be great to be right off the freeway.
Yeah.
The drivers will certainly appreciate that. The shower addition to the driver's lounge. It's going to be awesome. So we're excited for that move coming up.
Funny, we can, on very clear days from our terminal here in Sumner, we can see Mount Rainier. Mm-hmm. I've had some drivers come up and saying that was Mount St. Helens, and I thought it was pretty funny.
Wow, it's not quite that clear. I mean, that would be something.
No, they thought Mount Rainier was Mount St. Helens. So that was pretty funny.
All right, so moving on, we got a couple of hot topics we want to tackle. The first one is one that you brought up on social media a couple weeks ago and got a lot of conversation going on social media when you brought up the topic of broadening our horizons, our regional capacity to Western 11. What were you getting at there? What are you driving at, Harmon?
Yeah, I don't know if it's necessarily going to be Western 11, but we're going to add some more states to our service area and what we do, and as we continue to grow. So obviously we've been growing about 50-ish trucks a year, and we have plans to grow a little bit more than that this year, closer to 100 trucks of growth. And we've got plenty of business, and we got very good customers, ready to take on the economic downturn and whatnot that's maybe coming. But we've got robust freight network. So with that, we want to continue to expand, and we've got a lot of requests from drivers that want to run, a little bit more and stretch their legs sometimes. And for those reasons, we've been thinking about and talking about it for a while. We're going to probably open up some more states and start running into, Utah and Idaho and Montana and maybe New Mexico. And, I don't think we can get to Texas in the next year, but I want to get out to Texas over the next few years. So that'll all be coming. So very, very excited for that. With that, we're growing. So we need, we're going to venture off a little bit. But we're going to get the opportunity to be able to hire more drivers in different parts of the country, which we've never been able to do in the past, which is extremely exciting. We're going to, like I said, be able to stretch our legs for some of our I-5 runners if they want to run out there. And, maybe there's opportunities to increase the length of haul sometimes on some freight. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, I just want to emphasize that we've got a really solid network out here on the West. And if drivers are out there doing, some I-5 work, and we've got a bunch of drivers that just run between Albany, Oregon area and our yard there into the Lathrop, Stockton, Modesto, Tracy area. And they do that 3 times a week, hitting 3,300 miles, which is phenomenal.
Yeah, that's great.
And they're home like every other day. We're not going to make you go to Utah, right? So we're going to keep doing what we're doing. We're just, as we bring in more equipment and more trucks and more drivers, we're going to be able to have more options for our current drivers and some of the newer ones to run in different areas. So we're not changing what we're doing. So all of the drivers that are out there on dedicated runs or engineered runs or like what you're doing, no problem. We're going to continue doing that and more.
Nice.
So we're not forcing or we're not changing routes. We're just growing and expanding our current footprint. So very excited about that. With that, I want to mention, as we grow, it's, we have to continue to build our terminal network, and we have to build our density. Right now, if you're driving I-5, every, 10, 15 trucks, you see a CHEEMA truck, right? So we got pretty dense network. So the goal is going to be continue to grow those interstates and very strategically, and still have a lot of density. So that way there's always a truck, another CHEEMA driver, another CHEEMate within reach if something goes wrong.
Nice.
So
yeah, I'm on the daily calls, the operations calls, Monday through Friday, and I'm hearing every morning that we're not able to meet the demand from all our customers where we're currently running, right? Which is a nice problem to have. And so, yeah, that was the first thing that I thought of when we were talking Western 11, starting these new conversations up. It's very exciting, but I also know we've got more business than we can handle on the I-5. So as Harmon mentioned, we still need those guys that love running I-5 to keep running and covering that freight and providing that high level of service.
In summary, Jamie, just for any new possible teammates that want to join that are maybe listening in, we obviously are world dominating the West Coast, Washington, Oregon, California, Arizona, in through Nevada, Idaho. We've got plenty of freight that just runs in these states that we're taking care of right now. But we've got our fleet offerings. Real quick recap, we've got up here in Sumner, we've got some local trucks that just run here and are home every day. Not a lot, but we have a little bit. And then we've got our Northwest Regional fleet that just runs basically Washington, Oregon, in those states, and maybe some Idaho occasionally, but mostly, to Spokane or Sumner or Yakima and back down to Albany area or Halsey or, some of those areas down there. Just staying here and can be home every day or home every other day, depending on where the driver lives and kind of the load they get. And then we've got our main I-5 fleet that runs between Washington down into Northern California, down into Central California, and into Southern California and back. And by the way, we let our drivers choose. You can live anywhere between Sumner and, anywhere on the I-5. And if you're living in Northern California and you don't want to run to Southern California, that's okay. We can keep you churning from Northern California. But if you live down in Fresno area and you want to run to Central California and Southern California, then we can keep you doing that. So we've got a lot of options to engineer. Got some phenomenal planners, phenomenal driver managers, and operations crew to cater to the driver. And then we've got our Southwest Regional fleet, which is based out of our Lathrop terminal. That just runs pretty much Northern California, Central California into the Arizona market, and a little bit of Vegas sometimes, but mostly down in Arizona. And down into Southern California, of course. We got to run Southern California. That's the freight capital of the West, as much as we hate and love it, right? It's a hate-love relationship there. But and then we've got our intra-Cal, we call it the CAR fleet, our California Regional fleet. And that just runs between, Northern California. And by the way, Northern California is Stockton, Tracy, Modesto, up to Sacramento. And we do some stuff up to Redding and Red Bluff area occasionally. But majority of the runs are finaling right there around that Stockton, Tracy, Lathrop area. And those fleets just run between Northern California into Southern California and back, and they're hitting it 3 times a week. They can get home through the house. It's all weekly home time, but you can, depending on where you live, you can get through the house a few times a week. So, and then we've got our local Northern California fleet that's home daily. There may be 1 or 2 positions open there, but usually it stays pretty full. And then, did I miss any?
Maybe
Albany locals.
Albany locals.
How do we forget those? So we got some locals down in Albany, Oregon, which stays, we got a good group there, so we don't really have too many openings there, but occasionally we may have 1 or so. So if there's anybody interested in any of these fleets, please reach out to recruiting. Our number for those new folks is 844
424
424
3362.
Yep. 844-4-CHEEMA. So 424-3362. Or teamcheema.com. Check us out. Look at our reviews. We're growing.
Talk to a driver. Find a green truck.
Yeah, talk to drivers. That's the best right there. Go talk to other drivers and see what they have to say. Find out for yourself. We are the best on the West. I'll tell you that. And if you want to dare to compare, bring it on.
Don't take our word for it.
Yeah.
Ask a driver. All right. Well, thank you. Thank you for filling us in on all the fleet offerings. Again, 844-424-3362. If you want to give a recruiter a call, talk to one of our recruiting specialists, or if you want to just apply, sounds good, want to drive one of these beautiful green machines, teamcheema.com will get you the app link right there.
Yep.
We got more to talk about, though. Hot topic number 2, diesel prices. Ouch.
That is
Are you ready to go
topic.
here? Diesel prices, the rising cost of fuel. What's happening on that front, Harmon?
So I think the national average for diesel right now is just above 550, 570, somewhere around there, which is a lot. However, running a lot of California, it's way higher in California. So us Western state carriers usually get hit the hardest because California is just ridiculous on the way they tax and the way they have their fuel prices. So for that, we need drivers. We need your help. I can't emphasize this enough. Please, please, please look out and try to, try to buy your fuel ahead of time and make sure we're staying within our Pilot Flying J networks. We haven't had to do any emergency fueling, which is nice, but please, if there's a Pilot Flying J, top it off. Stay within our network. We cannot afford to buy out of network at all. Speaking of Pilot Flying J in general, they're opening locations and they're doing a ton of remodel and renovations. And I actually just hooked up our pilot reps with Jamie to do some surveys. And have you been reaching out to drivers on that, or how?
I will be. Yeah, our team will be getting a hold of all of our fleet to get some feedback for exactly that. They want to know. Pilot Flying J wants to know what they can do with their $1 billion worth in renovations as they invest that money.
1 billion with a B.
$1 billion. They want driver feedback. They want to make sure that they're building their facilities to be, desirable for our driver force. So we'll be getting that feedback. If you got that feedback, let me know. Let anybody on my driver services team know, Ruby TG, even Alma. We'd love to get that feedback to Pilot so we can see that kind of a change.
Yep, absolutely.
So prices are going up. I know that most folks probably know this, but within our fueling network, Pilot Flying J, we pay a negotiated rate. Right. So we're not paying what you see on the signs. We've negotiated a rate with our fuel network. And so all the more reason to emphasize the point that when you're fueling, we want to pay that cheaper rate. Right. We don't want to pay that, inflating rate that's inflating faster than our negotiated rate, proportionally, I suppose. But just your help, your continued help and focus on that is so greatly appreciated, drivers. All right. Pretty excited to announce, if you follow us on social media, you probably caught a couple of posts, some pictures of the new hardware that's been rolling in these past few weeks. We've got Peterbilt.
Yeah.
As many of you know, we've been pretty exclusively a Freightliner operation, and we still love our partnership and our friends over there at Freightliner. But we've been adding new trucks to the fleet starting this year with some Peterbilts. Those rolled in this week, and we seated our first one yesterday. Eric, congratulations. Your hard work has been noticed, and we're excited to offer you that first truck. We got some pictures that we posted earlier. We'll insert some of those now so you can enjoy those, but those trucks are beautiful, no doubt.
Yeah, and we've been getting a lot of drivers asking, hey, how do I get one? We've been getting a lot of drivers calling into recruiting saying, hey, how do I get one? How am I going to, I'm going to come on and I'm going to get one. So the way we've done it is we're going to give our new Peterbilts and then some new Kenworths coming soon to our existing drivers that would like them. Love your Freightliner, no problem. You can stay in your Freightliner. Great trucks.
More of those are still coming too.
Yeah, we got some brand new Freightliners coming as well. So we're going to be hopefully trying to upgrade all of our 2019s and get rid of those this year. So then every truck will be a 2020 through 2023, which is pretty cool.
Pretty cool.
But the way we're choosing the drivers to get the Peets and the upgrades are safety. Safety is always number one. You got to be safe. If you're damaging our equipment and you're just beating it up, then well, guess what? I'm not going to give you a new truck, right? So, but we got a lot of fantastic drivers that are taking care of their rigs and are proud of their rides. So, safety, be safe. Number two, performance, miles. We got to run. We got to have or hit our revenue goals to continue to grow and just continue to grow and thrive. So mileage and performance as well. So, and then ease of doing business. Just like we want to be. We want to have good driver managers, and we have tools like WorkHound for feedback. We want to. We want to be easy to do business with the driver. At the same time, drivers, we need you to be easy to do business with as well. So sometimes we don't realize. So I'm very passionate about this business, obviously, right? If you didn't know.
Yep, very passionate.
And I will go to bat for our drivers any day, to anybody. So, but with that, we got to do our part, and we got to be, we got to be professional. Sometimes you're in a situation where somebody is not being professional, but we have to we got to be the bigger man, and we got to be professional there and do our part to stay professional. So at the same time, we always challenge our drivers our driver managers to do their part and make it the best place to drive for and the easiest to work with and make it a really good place for the drivers to work and have a career. So we try very, very hard. We're not perfect by any means. We always say that. We know that. And we're always looking for ways to improve. However, we need something back from the driver as well. We can't be doing the best we can and knocking out of the park and doing our part and being professional and good to the drivers if we're getting somebody just yelling at you on the other side, which has happened. I don't tolerate that on both sides. So I'm going to look out for you drivers. At the same time, please look out for the driving staff as well, right? We're all in it together. We're all teammates, right?
We're all Team CHEEMA.
Yeah, we're all Team CHEEMA. So I just wanted to pass that message along that we are the professionals. We got to work together. And at the same time, if there's somebody not treating you as well as you like to be treated, you know how to get a hold of me. Put it in on a work count. I do read those. Jamie reads those. We get them. We get them updated. Lori sends us a message every night with all the comments we got every day, and we review them every week as well. So we're seeing those. So work count, please send us your feedback on work count. That's the only way we're going to continue to get better at what we do.
Yeah. And you know those Freightliners, we love our CHEEMA green. Those Freightliners look great, but it's so cool to see other makes starting to roll in wearing that CHEEMA green. The Peterbilts, and then later on this year, some Kenworths coming through. It's going to be really
maybe
cool.
Some Max.
So that's new trucks. We also got some new trailers starting to add in. We get new trailers every year, Harmon. It's just kind of an ongoing expense of the business. But as we grow, we've been talking about 50 drivers a year. This year is going to be even more. We got to have it be proportionate, right, with the equipment that we haul. So we got more trailers.
And with trailers, we've taken delivery about 50 already so far last week, and we've got plenty more coming. We'll have about 200 coming over in the next 5 to 8 weeks. Which will be nice additions, right? In Southern California and Arizona, Northern Cal, everywhere on the West Coast, right? Wherever we got pools, we're going to be bringing them in. But at the same time, it's weird. Every time we've bought trailers, it's pretty nice, and we buy some trucks, and then it gets tight again. And I see messages like, we need to hold our customers accountable, and they need to be emptying them out. You're absolutely right. And we try our best. And we do hold our customers accountable, but there's just some scenarios where we're partners to them and they're partners right back. They're uncontrollable issues. So we've got a lot of customers not being able to unload equipment as fast as we need it. So it's not a good experience for the driver sometimes, but we're bringing in a lot of new equipment so that way we have plenty of empties and plenty of trailers to be able to continue doing what we do. At the same time, we're holding our customers accountable to help them unload trailers quicker and keep the process going. But it's sometimes a little bit easier said than done. And they've got issues. They've got labor issues. They've got inventory issues. The fact is, a lot of our retail customers, Jamie, guess what? What's been the biggest challenge the last 2 years? Something to do with ships and oceans.
That's right.
Right. So a lot of the inventory coming in today and in the last few months was inventory that was supposed to come over to our retailers back in Christmas and Thanksgiving. So now you got boatloads, literally, boatloads of containers coming in, and which we do a lot of those cross-dock loads, right? Coming in, and it's with stuff that was from Thanksgiving and Christmas. And so with that, we're getting there and we're going to the DCs to deliver to our customers, and they're like, they have boatloads of freight
stockpiling
that they can't sell because it's not Christmas anymore. So they're trying their best. They're putting on sales. They're doing different things to try to get rid of the inventory so they can free up space and unload our trailers. But there's a lot of things going on. It's not as easy as it looks sometimes. And but they're trying, and we're working with them. We've got daily calls with our customers to try to improve the situation. So sometimes I hear drivers saying, hey, how come I'm not getting that lane anymore? How come I'm not getting the Washington to Arizona loads? Well, we get 10 to 15 of those a day, but sometimes we have to reduce them to 1 or 2 because when you get to Arizona, there's 40 or 50 trailers that are loaded, and they were only able to unload 2 or 3. So why bring in 15 more when you get there? You're not going to have a trailer. So it's really just a balancing act.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, that's kind of one of the blessings and curses of actually drop and hook freight, right?
Yeah.
When you enter into a situation like this, everybody loves the drop and hook freight, best way to use your ELD, right?
Yeah.
But then when these situations are created, then all of a sudden you're dependent on where am I going to find an empty if they're not emptying out our trailers?
Yeah, so great point, Jamie. We love drop and hook freight. We're looking for more and more drop and hook freight for our drivers to continue to keep them moving. However, a live unload is not terrible, right? A live unload is actually pretty good in these scenarios. If you get down to Northern California and you have a paper load that usually takes hour to hour and a half to live unload, well, guess what? It's probably going to be better for you to live unload that load, have that empty trailer with you so you can use it for your next load versus drop it at a customer or drop it at a yard and then have to go scavenger hunting for another empty trailer,
Yeah.
because that's going to waste more than your hour to hour and a half to 2 hours to go do that. We'll compensate you for that, but it's not the ideal scenario for anybody. So if you have a load where you can help unload it. So that way we can have that empty trailer to use for your next load. And it's kind of, like I said, it's a balancing act, but sometimes, we run into these arguments with our fellow drivers where they want to all drop and hook and all that. And I'm like, guys, it's not that bad. If we just live unload that load, get it off within an hour to 2 hours, hour and a half, then it's not terrible. You got an empty trailer right behind you to go use for your next load. Actually, you probably saved more time in the grand scheme of things.
Yep, absolutely. Great point. That being said, internally and operationally, we are passing on those charges to our customers that are detaining our trailers. And so
Right.
there is an effort being put forth to motivate them to empty out those trailers for us,
Right,
to get
right.
back into circulation. So we talked new trucks, we talked new trailers, we also got some new teammates in the office. Since our last episode, we've added 5 new teammates, and they are Quincy Casey, driver manager out of Albany, Oregon. Quincy, welcome to the
Welcome,
team.
Quincy.
Rodrigo Gonzalez in our Lathrop shop. Welcome, Rodrigo.
Welcome, Rodrigo.
Down in Lathrop, California, Ravi Carbondas in security.
Yeah, welcome, Robbie.
Amy Shook in accounting here in Sumner, Washington. Welcome, Amy.
Welcome, Amy.
And behind the camera today, Morgan Frizzle. Morgan, great job today. Welcome to
Morgan.
the team. Digital
She's driving
strategy
the drone right
specialist. She's driving the drone right now, so you can appreciate the drone shots from Morgan. All right, we're excited for this next segment. We had an opportunity to meet one of our driver services teammates, Alma Guerra. So here is the interview we had with her earlier this week.
Yeah, it's always great. We don't always get to see some of the back office and some of the behind-the-scene folks. So we're trying to make sure we bring somebody new every month or every other month to introduce them to our fellow drivers and our fellow, listeners. And so here it is, Alma. Rock and roll.
All right, I'm here in the cab of a 2023 Peterbilt with my friend Alma Guerra, whom I'd like to get to know with you a little bit today. Hi, Alma.
Hello.
How are you doing today?
I'm good.
Thanks for joining us. Let's start with a couple of questions, some softball questions, if you will. Let's get to know you a little bit. Tell us, what is your favorite color?
My favorite color is actually green.
Green?
How ironic.
Good choice.
Yeah.
I like that color a lot. Do you have a favorite song? What kind of music do you listen to? Is there a favorite song amongst that genre?
I actually listen to quite a bit of different genres. I think at the moment I'm kind of hooked on Bad Bunny.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Nice. Is there a specific Bad Bunny track you're vibing on?
No, actually, I like the whole album. Yeah.
All right.
He dropped a really good album right before summer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good. We've enjoyed a little bit of food. You're here in Sumner visiting this week, and one of the fun things that we've been able to do is take you to some hot spots in the area. What's your favorite type of food?
My favorite type of food is definitely Mexican.
Okay.
I mean, I'm full Mexican. But I do enjoy Italian food, which we were able to go to a really good Italian place. I don't remember the name of it.
Sorchi's? Downtown Sumner?
Yes.
I think so.
Yeah. So that was nice. I'm leaving 20 pounds heavier, but that's okay because I've enjoyed it.
Sorry about that.
It's okay.
Let's talk movies and entertainment. Do you have a favorite movie?
I do. It's actually Halloween. The reason why that is Michael Myers is a very consistent person. He doesn't give up. He's always willing to go after what he wants.
Not
and
a
I
quitter.
actually have him tattooed on my leg.
True?
This is true. This is true.
That's a commitment.
That's a commitment.
Wow. A commitment to effort.
Basically.
Always giving 110%, just like Mike Myers.
Exactly.
All right. Let's see. So you've been in town this week, traveled in from California to spend a week here in Sumner, Washington at our headquarters terminal. How's that been for you?
It's been great. I've enjoyed the weather. I left 105-degree weather in California, and now here. It reminds me a lot of Twilight. It's great weather, honestly. I've enjoyed it.
Nice, nice. So your role here at CHEEMA Freight Lines is that of a recruiting processor, application processor. Can you tell the folks at home a little bit about your role here? What does that mean? What do you do here at CHEEMA Freight Lines?
Of course. So it is more on the application process. I do communicate with the recruiters. They make their pre-qualifications for the drivers. And once that's made, I actually step in and I start to work the application, meaning I review their employment history. I confirm the dates of employment, review any drug and alcohol, any accidents listed. And then aside from that, I also get to book their travel, communicate with them, welcome notice, any questions they might have about the process, or if I need to gather any information that may be missing or I guess just doesn't sync up. So it's a little bit of everything that involves their history as of the last 3 years.
One thing I like to point out, we've talked about a little bit this week, is that you have an interest in criminal case study, kind of CSI detective work. You enjoy podcasts. In fact, you're wearing a jacket of your favorite podcast. You want to pimp that out?
It is Be Weird, Be Rude, Stay Alive, Crime Junkie.
Crime Junkies. That's another podcast, almost as many streams as CHEEMA Connect.
Yeah.
Anyhow, so you like, kind of doing some of that detective work, and there's elements of your job that's kind of similar to that, right? As you're like reviewing applications, making sure you get all the information that you need to help in the safety review process. You're kind of like a little bit of an application detective.
I mean, yeah, like if anybody were to ask, I'd say I'm CHEEMA's FBI.
That's right.
I mean, if anybody asks. But it's been, I do enjoy the process. I think being able to connect all the pieces and make sure that we have a quality driver that's going to be seated into, like Jamie said, one of these new Peterbilts. So, I enjoy it. I enjoy putting the pieces together.
And we enjoy having you on the team. Thank you so much for spending a little bit of time with us on the program. And again, welcome to CHEEMA Freight Lines.
Thank you. It's been great.
Wow. Great job, Jamie and Alma. Were you two in a truck?
That was the inside of one of the brand new 2023 Peterbilts, and they're pretty. They're impressive on the inside, no doubt. It was cool to spend a little bit of time with Alma. She was up here in Sumner, Washington, and always good company. Always good to have her around. So thanks for giving us some of the behind-the-scenes intel
So
on
I know I just got here, but we got another gentleman we want to introduce.
That's right. So as we like to do every week, or every episode, I should say, we spend a little time talking about safety. So we're going to enter into our Safety Corner with Scott Grafe.
Did he tell you to sing that?
Safety Corner.
All right, Scott and Jamie, rock and roll.
All right, Jamie, Scott, take it away. Well, I'm joined now by Scott Gray from our safety department. Scott, thanks for joining the program. How are you doing today?
I am doing okay.
Oh, good. Good to have you with us. As we've begun doing here on each and every episode of CHEEMA Connect, we like to dedicate a portion of the program to safety, because safety is the backbone of everything we do here in trucking and transportation. So, Scott, what do you have to tell us this time?
Well, a few things here. First off, I want to say, because it's brand new here at these CHEEMA podcasts, if you have a safety question or concern you would like addressed on a future podcast, by all means, submit those questions directly to myself. We will sort through them and get you some answers. But today's topic is personal conveyance. And so just what is personal conveyance? It's the movement of a commercial motor vehicle for personal use while off duty. And when can you use it? When you are relieved from work and all responsibility for performing work by the motor carrier, us, CHEEMA. Our PC policy is covered in the driver manual in the appendix. I would encourage everyone to read it. It's pretty thorough. You shouldn't walk away with any questions, but I know it doesn't cover every conceivable scenario that might come out. So here's some common questions that I get asked. Can I use PC to go to the grocery store while I'm on a break? Yes, you may do that, and no problem there. You're using the truck for personal reasons. Do you have to be bobtailed to use a PC? No, you can have an empty or loaded trailer. The trick there is you have to be driving for personal reasons. You're out of hours. The customer won't let you stay on site. Can you use the PC to get to a safe place to park? Yes, you may. You have to be going directly to the next reasonable location, and that's all there is to that. Can you use PC to take your truck to a shop? No. Going to a shop is an on-duty task, and the FMCSA regulations are pretty clear. You just go read on-duty stuff there in 395, and it's pretty thorough. Can you use PC to go locate an empty trailer? No. Again, you are using your truck to do work. Let's say you're on a 10-hour break. You're sitting in a rest area. You're 4 hours into your break, and the police come out and say, you got to move. We're shutting this thing down. Can you use PC to go to the next safe parking location? Yes, you may. You have to go to the next reasonable safe location and resume your break. If you're being directed by a safety official, that's what that comes under. You're allowed to move your truck. You just delivered your load. The next one is sitting in one of our yards. You're not going to a customer. Can I use PC? No. You are being directed by the company to go get that load. That's an on-duty, regular driving task. And here's a very common one. You get caught in a traffic jam, and now you're out of hours. If you drive, you will be in violation. Can I use PC to find a safe haven? No, because you are not relieved of work and all responsibility for doing work. Prior to running out of hours, you were moving the truck for personal benefit of CHEEMA. You have to use regular drive time. Yes, you're going to have a violation. Please call safety, explain what happened. We aren't going to like it, but we also know you can't park on the side of a road. We'll make notes because we don't want you to lose your safety bonus for a legitimate thing like that. And DOT officers will tell you it is better to have a violation than to appear like you're trying to hide one. And that's what it would look like. And then finally, if you're going to use PC, always make sure before you move that truck that you are in the correct status. If you place yourself in PC, if that engine shuts off for any reason, whether you turned it off or it shuts off on its own, and then you start it back up, you have to put yourself back in PC. Otherwise, it will trigger regular old drive time, and it's going to break your brake. And trust me when I say I've heard a lot of drivers, they got 1 minute of drive time, they're 20 hours into a 34, and there's nothing anybody here at the company can do. We want you guys to be successful. PC is a nice tool to use when you need it. And that was all I had to say today.
Perfect. Well, I think you already landed on it, but let me just kind of restate some of the kind of common sense things, but I think can be a practical takeaway. You need to put yourself into off-duty PC or personal conveyance before you operate the vehicle in any of those applicable
That is
situations.
correct. That is correct.
The opposite of that, if you don't first put yourself off-duty PC and then move the truck, what's going to happen is you're going to create a drive event.
You are.
And as you all know with ELDs, drive events cannot be edited. And so if you're on a 34 or a 10-hour break, you've created a drive event that will interrupt that break. And so just a reminder on those, make sure you first put yourself in off-duty PC before that personal move is made.
That is correct. Can't stress that enough. I've seen too many guys they got drive time in the middle of a break and they got to restart their break, and it's painful. We know that, and there's nothing we can do about it except empathize with you.
Well, great word, great reminder to the team. So thank you so much for joining us for our safety corner, Scott.
Well, you're welcome, Jamie, and I look forward to the next podcast. And submit some questions, guys. What are you interested in? It has to be safety related, and we'll get some answers. Thank you.
Let us know.
Wow. Great
Fantastic
job.
stuff, right?
Did he have trucks on his tie?
I think he had a tie clip with a truck on it too.
Wow.
I mean, attention to detail, I think so.
I thought I was passionate.
That was a fantastic interview. Thank you for all that great info, Scott. Appreciate you so much. I want to take that one step further. We were talking a little bit earlier this week about load securement, and with the holiday coming up, 4th of July is just right around the corner. Some important things we probably want to keep in mind, Harmon, about load securement.
Yeah, so let's talk about load securement first. We're hauling a lot of beverage and food and whatnot, so drivers, please do your part, secure those loads, strap them up. Even if they use airbags, they shift. So unlike, we've had plated trailers for a long time, and we've got 100% of our trailer fleet is plate trailers. And so if you've noticed, the plate trailer usually kind of flexes and does this funky thing, right? Mm-hmm. We're in a plate trailer right now, actually. So if you look at these, they're pretty easy to, move around. So think about it. You got loaded beverages here. You got a airbag in the middle or the sides, and the trailer's moving like this. I mean, it's going to move. So we need you to do your part and secure them and strap them. And if you don't have straps, pick them up at one of the terminals or get them before you spend $100 at a truck stop getting them. Always carry them. Load locks really don't work in these kind of trailers, but we have to secure the loads. Even though there's airbags, what's happening is we're getting a lot of load shifts lately. So beverages and some of the beer loads we're doing and some of the different, beverages and whatnot that we're hauling, they're starting to shift. So with that, we're trying to pick up some cool quality business. But if we keep shifting it, then I don't know how long we're going to be able to keep some of that. So please do your part, secure the loads. Secondly, holidays coming up. So 4th of July is coming up. We talked about the barbecues.
Happy birthday, America.
Yep. We talked about the barbecues. We'll be excited for that. But at the same time, holidays are a big target for thieves and thefts. So while drivers never stop and they move America, thieves really don't stop either. They don't take holidays either. So please do your part. Make sure if you're parking somewhere for the holiday or over the weekend, your load is secure. You're parking in a well-lit truck stop. Keep your eyes on it. Do your walk around. Make sure there's nothing suspicious going on. If there is, call 911. Let the authorities know. Let the truck stops know that you feel there's something suspicious out there, somebody suspicious. But holidays are usually the biggest target for theft. And last thing we want to do is buy a $100,000 trailer because we lost the freight. So $100,000 of cargo, and hopefully we get our trailer back, right?
Yeah.
But,
another tip: if you got a fence line, back that thing up so the trailer doors won't open. If you only back up to it, maybe a foot within it. That's another way to protect your load.
And seal.
And seal integrity. Make
seal
sure
integrity is huge.
Your paperwork to make sure the seal number on the paperwork matches the actual physical seal on the back of the trailer. And when you get to your destination, your delivery customer, make sure you're always asking that receiving manager, hey, can you sign that my seal was intact before you break it open? That way we know that there was integrity in transit. And that's so important.
And with that seal reminder, that reminded me, we have to make sure on every single POD, bill of lading, we are signing off seal intact. Sometimes the customers don't always sign it. Always put SIT or seal intact, because if we don't and there's a shortage or something, we could be liable for that load. Or a portion of whatever was missing, or maybe the warehouse forgot to put on, or those things. And last thing we want to do is continue to, I always want to try to, we did some driver raises recently. I want to continue to push more to the drivers because you guys absolutely deserve it. And it's the hardest job out there. But at the same time, there's no room for error. There's no room for spending money on these little things and cargo theft and not signing seal intact and having to pay for 2 trailers or 2 pallets of whatever, and just damages and breakdowns and stuff like that. So do your part, do your pre-trips, sign seal intact, watch your seals, make sure they're not broken. There's a number of customers, as soon as the seal breaks, even if anything is missing or not, that's it. We own the load, and it goes to insurance or goes to our own, our pockets, and we have to buy it because it's food. What if somebody got in there and they put in anthrax or something, and so whatever, right? And they don't want that going to the public and people getting sick. So for that, seal integrity is extremely important, and watch your seals, please.
Yes.
Sign seal intact on your paperwork every time.
Yes. Thanks for that reminder, Harvey.
And then transfer your paperwork. We've got a lot of drivers doing a good job, but plug for Laura. She and the payroll team, they're calling drivers constantly saying, please, please, please scan in your paperwork. So transfer machine, I know transfer machine is a topic in Albany. We're going to get one as soon as the driver lounge is open. However, please scan in your paperwork. Use the TransFlow Mobile Plus app. We need the PODs to get paid. We do all this work. We pay the drivers. We pay for the fuel. We pay for the trucks, the trailers. If we can't get that piece of paper showing we deliver the load, we're not getting paid, and that's a big problem. So please, drivers, scan in your paperwork as quickly as you can unloading after you get unloaded.
Yeah. If we're asking for your paperwork, it's because it's important.
Right.
It's important. So just make sure you get that scanned in a timely fashion. All right. Well, we've covered a lot of ground, and I want to kind of highlight a couple of these amazing things here. We've got a barbecue coming next Friday, July 1st. We've got some terminal updates going on. We've got some showers added to the facilities at our Northwest terminal locations. We got new Peterbilts rolling in. We got new trailers. We got new teammates. We got a whole lot going on. We're expanding our regional capacity here in short order. There's a lot to be excited about at CHEEMA Freight Lines, and I want to make sure that everybody here watching has an opportunity to take a look at what we have to offer. Check us out at CHEEMAFreightLines.com. If you want to apply, go straight to TeamCHEEMA.com. Again, call one of our recruiting specialists at 844-424-3362. And Harmon, you wanted to remind the folks at home some of the areas that we have terminals and drop yards, just so they know what's close to where they might live.
Yeah, so just like Jamie mentioned, www.CHEEMAFreightLines.com. But if you can't spell freight lines, you can go to CHEEMATrucking.com too. That goes to the same place. And if you can't spell that, go to TeamCHEEMA.com. They all go to the same place. We made it easy for you guys. So please visit us on TeamCHEEMA.com, and we'd love to have you on the team. So we are obviously we're hiring. Just like Jamie mentioned, we're growing. I just want to remind everybody the places that we have terminals and yards and whatnot. So obviously we're up here in Sumner, Washington. We've got a drop yard in Vancouver, Washington, which is just north of the river, north of Portland. We've got a terminal in Albany, Oregon. We've got a drop yard down by Medford in White City, Oregon. We've got a terminal a drop yard just by Redding area. It's in Anderson, California. And then we've got a terminal in Lathrop, California. And then we've also got a drop yard in Fresno, California, Bakersfield, California, and Fontana area, Bloomington, California. And then we got one in Tolleson, Arizona. So we've got the West Coast pretty well covered. And as we grow into some of the other states like we talked about, we'll be looking for drop yards and whatnot in some of those big markets as well. And we're excited. We're actively looking for a piece of property and real estate in Arizona to build a terminal out there sometime over the next year or so.
Yeah. So reach out to us, give us a call. We love to talk trucking. We'd love to tell you about what we're doing here and if there might be a fit for you to join Team CHEEMA. All right. Well, the 4th of July is upon us. We want to wish each and every one of you a happy and safe 4th of July. And thanks for tuning in to this episode of CHEEMA Freight Lines.
We'll see you next time.
See you next time.